So anyway, this next book I want to talk about is called Revival. Um, and I figured I'd talk about it. I was thinking about Stephen King as I was reviewing End of Watch and Finders Keepers and Mr. Mercedes from the Bill Hodges trilogy. Again, I apologize about the quality of those of the video for those reviews of those books. And Revival I got into right after reading Mr. Mercedes, and I actually found it at a thrift store for like $3. And the first thing I noticed about this book was the title, kind of a religious sounding book, and also the lightning. I mean, when you look at the book, it's like, gosh, it's these big letters and lightning shooting through it. And well, the thing that's really cool is when you actually have a copy of the book, like I used to. I mean, darn it, I give it to the library, but when you have a copy of the book and you turn it, you can see that the lightning, it creates rainbows, and it looks like really sparkly as you turn the hardcover edition of the book, and as you're kind of reading it with the big font, it just looks kind of like revival. And anyway, to get to the point, it's not what it seems. You know, you read the thing on the sleeve. I forgot what they call it, and it just seems like it'll be a book about some guy who loses his faith, and you're not really too sure what it's going to be about. It's about this Reverend Charles Jacobs. I had to look up his name because I forgot the name of the Reverend. So it's Charles Jacobs is his name actually, and this boy named Jamie Morton. The funny thing about the name Jamie is, whenever I hear it, I think of kind of a girl's name, like Jamie, and it, you know, like oftentimes it's like this really big, serious-looking, burly guy. Say, "What's up? My name's Jamie." You know, so Jamie Morton is the protagonist, and he befriends this preacher as a boy, and so the boy's kind of like this kid, you know, lonely kid wandering around, and he's a lonely kid. He has friends, I guess, and family, but for some reason, when he's by himself playing, you know, he bumps into this kind of priest or preacher. He immediately finds interest in him. It's almost as if the priest kind of like contacted him and saw something special about the boy, and then the boy Jamie, young Jamie, you know, he starts kind of like like taking the priest up on his offer, like when the priest offers to show him this lake called Peaceable Lake, and it has like a little mechanical Jesus that goes across the lake. And well, there's all this stuff, you know, and with the priest, and they have their church meetings, and they have there's Jamie's family in the book, and he has a big family, and it's all described, and it's all quite long, you know, to read through, and it's kind of slow, and you know, sometimes you almost want to get bored, but not really, because later on the book just kind of teases you with showing you more and more about the priest, and the priest is actually an inventor. So like his electrical Jesus and his electrical inventions are something he's always working on outside of his religion. And then eventually, to summarize, because this video is getting long, the priest, you know, he has a tragedy with his wife and his kid, and he kind of goes insane, and he just keeps working on his inventions further and further to the point of madness. And he goes from like priest to like, well, I'm not going to say, but like to kind of a revival priest who's like healing people. You are healed, and stuff like that. And Jamie goes on his journey where he falls into drug addiction, and you know, he gets into bands for a while and keeps playing music, but he also you know, falls further into drugs, and so it's a really good story if you like anything about this title, Revival. Like if you like Creedence Clearwater Revival, there's references to that in this book, and you know, if you like blues and rock music and electricity, and if you like faith, or if you hate faith, then this is the book for you. And at the end of the book, well, you know, just it gets to the point where at the end, like the final, like, I don't know, the 25, 50 pages, I don't remember. I think it's like the final 25 pages. They're just electrifying. And, you know, like, you're really bedazzled and you're just, you know, it's just like the rest of the book. The book teases you and you're like, okay, what's going on? Come on, come on. And then the final pages are like, come on, tell us what the whole book is leading to. And when you get to the end of it, it's like, whoa, holy shit. Wow, like, I'm glad the book took its time, because at the end you're like, this is some heavy shit. Like, this is insane. And like, you know, what happens with the preacher or priest, with the preacher and his inventions are just like, oh, and so you reach the end of the book and you're like, wow, dude, this was dark, and like, it was all for this, and like, wow. And then you could see why Stephen King took so long to describe all the details of these characters' lives, because he was building a story, you know, and then you're glad that it was kind of slow at the beginning of the book or the middle end, and it really becomes, you start to remember the early parts of the book after reading the end, and you're like, damn, this is like traumatic, you know, this is like ugly, it's like trauma. And like, for me, I'm just like this kid from San Diego, or I say I'm from LA, I mean, because I've been living in LA for 5 years, but I'm actually from San Diego. I got my Dodgers gear, but I'm repping SD too. So like, but anyway, just reading this, you know, is like, I've had hardship, but like not a lot. And then you read about this Jamie guy's life, and you know what he has to look forward to, and you're like, wow, this is a really effed up book. I'm glad I'm done reading it. So yeah, and look for a movie of it in a few years. Maybe they'll make a movie of it. They probably will, and I think it'll be a really good movie. Check it out, Stephen King's Revival. I wish I hadn't gave it away to the library, but I'm sure someone in the library is happy to have it. So, Revival. There you go.